Hello there. It's good to see all of you and chat with you again. It's January 23rd. This is day 29, literally the 4-week anniversary of the total knee replacement surgery that I had back on December 26th. Wanted to give you just an update as to how things are going. Probably from now on out, we'll probably be just doing these once a week just to fill you in on how things are going. Progress is slow, so giving just an update every week is probably going to be an appropriate thing to do. To fill you in, there's still knee swelling and joint pain. The kind of pain that I'm experiencing, there can be periods where there might be a little stabbing pain or sharp pain, if you will. Sometimes there are dull, achy pain. That's especially true after I've been exercising or doing a lot of walking, due in part to probably a little bit of increased swelling. There is still a lot of heat involved around the knee. If you put your hands around my knee, you can just feel a lot of heat emanating from the joint, showing that there's still a lot of healing going on. The swelling is much less than it used to be, clearly, but it's still present and will probably continue to be present for a while. Tomorrow is going to mark the end of my second week of inpatient therapy sessions. Been going real well. There's lots of different things they're having me to do to improve the flexibility, improve strength, and now we're even starting to work on improving balance and core muscle strength, that sort of thing. My favorite machine probably over there is what I lovingly call the rack. Yes, the rack from the Middle Ages, the torture instrument that was so commonly used back in the Middle Ages, if you will. You strap the leg onto this machine. There's a strap that goes around the ankle. There's a strap that goes around the knee that holds it onto the chair. And then in front of me, I've got these handles that rotate. I can rotate them forward, rotate them back. When you're turning that handle, the knee will either raise or it will lower, and it will screw down just as far as you want it to go. So I am in control of how far my knee flexes. I'm allowed to wind it down, flex my knee, get it to a place where it just starts to get a little bit tense, and I can push it just a little bit more until I feel just a little bit of pain. I'm the one that's in charge of that, so I don't have to take it too far. I can either work on the flexion of the knee or the extension of the knee. So fun little machine, the rack, at my rehab facility. Monday this week, I was probably exercising a little too hard here at home and felt a little pull in my quad. So when I went Tuesday to my session, I mentioned that to my therapist, and he did a little point massage around the quad area. He could feel what I was talking about in terms of a little knot in the muscle, and he recommended a dry needle therapy session, which I have to admit, I've not heard of that. I feel a little embarrassed about that because I've always hung out with the athletic trainers and been thinking that I was keeping myself abreast of what took place in rehab facilities and athletic training facilities and that sort of thing, but I hadn't heard of this one. So he explained it a little bit to me. I said, "Oh, it sounds kind of like acupuncture." He said, "Well, it's not like acupuncture, other than the fact that you use a micro needle as part of the treatment session." So he took a micro thin needle and found the exact point of tightness and just inserted that into the muscle and almost simultaneously pulled it back out. I never felt a thing. It was so awesome. But what was really weird was that I felt almost instantaneously the muscle relax, which is the point of that therapy. That insertion of that microneedle goes into the muscle. It resets everything with that muscle. Not unlike when we used to treat cramps out on the field or on the court, we would take our finger and just push it right into the middle of that cramp, causing that muscle to kind of relax. After I got home, I went and did a little research and found a couple of articles on dry needle therapy and kind of a compare contrast with what it is versus what it is not. And I'm going to put links to those. So if you're interested in dry needling, if you've never heard of it or you're not familiar with it like I was, there are the two articles that I'm going to put down there. One of them is sort of a layman's term explanation of everything. And the second one is more of a scientific research-based article that gives you a little more background into the research that goes into that type of therapy. What I'm doing at home is just more of the same, continuing my exercises. I now have a whole battery of exercises that I can do, all of which are designed to, again, improve flexion, improve extension, improve balance, and improve strength. The therapist told me, hey, I just want you working about an hour a day total, maybe 90 minutes. So I can split that up, morning session, afternoon session, that sort of thing. And that's how I'm attacking that. I'm trying to walk as much as I can around my house without my cane. I can't do it 100% yet because there are times when I may be sitting here at the desk doing some of my online tutoring or whatever. And if I sit for a little while, whether I'm here or over on the couch watching TV, and I try to stand up, sometimes my leg is sort of locked in place and it takes me a minute to sort of wake it up and get to where I can walk again. So I'm not totally sans the cane yet, but I'm working towards that. I think I may have mentioned this in a previous video as I'm trying to walk outside 2 or 3 times a day, about 8 to 10 minutes each. That walking outside is more of a long stride. When you walk around your house, at least this is true for me, I don't take the normal long stride that I might when I walk outdoors or at the store or whatever. That's just how I poke around my house, I guess. So that's my effort, to walk inside the house as much as I can without the cane, and outside the house as much as I can without the cane. Of course, I'm facing the same thing like everybody else. It's pretty darn cold. So when the weather warms up, I'll do that a little bit more. That pretty much takes care of the update for this week. I'm still pleased with how things are going. I do have some, as I mentioned, the swelling and the pain are still there. They do seem to increase as I do exercises. I'm still using my ice cooling machine. I found that at night when I sleep, the bed covers irritate the incision site. And the incision site right now is a little bit scabbed over. It's not too terribly looking by any means, but there is some sensitivity there. And so whether I'm wearing a long pair of PJ pants or short pair of PJ pants and the sheets are just coming in contact with that scar tissue area, it's a little uncomfortable. And so I have to kind of deal with that from time to time. Other than that, nothing that is happening that I haven't anticipated. It's still about, hey, it's pain today, but it's not going to be tomorrow. And I'm very excited about that. So that's going to conclude it for tonight. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.